Welcome to our Timegrid demo, specifically aimed at universities. In this demo, we will show how to input your data and generate a schedule. Let's first start with the professors. Our chat assistant will guide you through the necessary steps. I simply put all the professors and their subjects in the chat window, using no specific format, and let the AI figure it out. As you can see, the professors are added accordingly, and the confirmation is shown. The chat assistant then guides you further along. We will now add the courses we want to schedule. A course has an identifier and the subject that it will teach the students. I simply paste the courses in, and the AI converts them to input for the schedule. You can also enter or change each item in the table using convenient methods, but we will use our chat AI here to get started quickly without having to format. Next up are the time slots we need to schedule these courses in. We can list the time slots, or we can describe the possible time slots in a very natural human way. With the time slots set up, we move on to the last part of the input, the schedule constraints. This is the most important part of scheduling, since a constraint defines whether a schedule is optimal and appreciated by your colleagues. We are adding a constraint that Professor Augustine does not like to teach too early in the morning. The AI also recognizes that this is probably a low priority constraint compared to the already existing constraints that are much more impactful for a good schedule. Let's add another constraint. We want to limit the number of subjects a professor has to teach to a maximum of 3, so the professors are not overwhelmed. The AI assigns this as a very high priority, but obviously this can be changed. I added many more constraints to move on to the next part, scheduling itself. Using all the input and constraints, we start calculating alternative schedules. The most optimal one is displayed first, together with its constraint scores. Each constraint that you have put in shows how much they contributed to the total score. Some constraint deduct from the total score, other ones add to it. We see that the constraint of Professor Augustine has a negative score since he has to get up a bit earlier for one course. But that is okay, since other constraints with higher priority we added were satisfied. For example, Professor Augustine's preference to teach certain subjects was more important. This makes it very clear to communicate with colleagues and go back and forth to change priorities. As a final step, we can share this schedule now with our colleagues. They can comment on it, see the generated schedule. The constraint information and priorities can help you and your colleagues to fine-tune it to come to a perfect schedule. Try it out yourself or contact us at info@timegrid.net.